Day three of the World Cup just went by yesterday and it produced a couple of interesting games, interesting matchups. Starting with Qatar versus Switzerland, I think we can all agree that Switzerland bottled the match. They were dominant throughout the match as expected because they were facing Qatar. I'm sure the Qataris were surprised to walk out of that match with a point. Congratulations to them, by the way, because that was their first point ever in FIFA World Cup finals. But that was only due to the fact that the Swiss could not take their chances. They created an XG of 3.24. They failed to convert their chances. It goes on to show you that at this stage, at this level, you need to take your full chance. If you get a goal, fight hard, go for the second goal. If you get the second goal, go for the third, and if possible, go for the fourth, the fifth. As many goals as you can score. Down to Brazil versus Morocco. Before the match started yesterday, I had Brazil winning by maybe a goal margin. I said it was going to be tight because Morocco they've been impressive. They've been one of the best African teams in recent years. Got to the semi-final of the last World Cup. But when the match started yesterday, it was like a different level of Morocco I saw because Brazil could not do anything. Literally, they couldn't do anything. The counter press from Morocco, the way they were just forming little rondos everywhere across the pitch, using triangles, escaping press. If Brazil managed to press, it was disjointed. Even the goal Morocco scored, it was more like a Brazilian goal against Morocco. But somehow it was from Morocco against Brazil. Comment to the hour, comment to the man. You know, when you're performing woefully, when you're performing badly, as bad as Brazil were performing yesterday, sometimes all you need is just a superstar to take the game in his hands and say, you know what, I am one of the best players on earth. Let me do what I do best, which was what Vinicius did yesterday. The two goals yesterday were very wonderful finishes, by the way. The same problem I was talking about in the match preview yesterday was how I was concerned for Brazil's midfield and their fullback. But their right back was getting cooked, so that they were taking turns on him. And then for Casemiro, I talked about how Casemiro is aging, and we know he does not have the leg to defend large space again. But then Ancelotti tweaked some things, brought Fabinho on in the second half, and I think the match became kind of even. Scotland versus Haiti, not much happened in the game. Even before the McGinn's goal, Haiti were in the game. With what I saw from Haiti yesterday, they were impressive. A decision in the final third cost them yesterday greatly. And then for Australia versus Turkey, what a match, by the way, because I was totally wrong. I saw Australia conceding like that in that game earlier today. Australia were defensively solid.
Which result surprised you the most?